Now, school reports by email, a computer in every pupil's home, daily online monitoring of your child's progress. A new vision for a technological future in Britain's schools was outlined today by the government. It's another small step on an inevitable journey, the provision of almost all public services through broadband. But what happens to those people who don't have or don't want to have internet access? David Fuller reports now on a new class division.
The new digital world, a vision of the future of education at Kensington Olympia today. The Education and Technology Fair is a slightly dull vision of how kids will soon be encouraged to pay attention in class. As this digital future takes shape, the government are worried. Worried that the digital haves, with the internet and latest technology, will race away from the digital have-nots. Today they announced their big idea: all secondary school children to have access to the internet at home by 2010, and schools to use technology to allow parents to access their children's reports in real time.
We do know that home computing can add up as much as half a grade onto GCSEs in key subjects. And so I talked a lot about the need to develop universal home access for pupils as well.
There's one place in the country where much of this is already happening. This is More in Cumbria. Despite being one of the most isolated communities in the country, in 2001, More became More. It calls itself the broadband capital of Britain. The More scheme provided free computers for 670 of the area's 938 homes. It started with free dial-up internet access and now provides wireless broadband.
So what we have here is a broadband connection which comes into the local school. It then gets shared out around the local community, and the benefit of this is that the school uses it during the day, but in the evening when the school isn't using it, the local community can access it. In particular, pupils can do their homework online.
Knowing most of the children in Alston were connected, the secondary school embraced the new technology, putting resources and homework assignments online. But when they started taking in children from the next village, they encountered the digital divide at first hand.
The children on Alston Moor had all been given free computers through the More scheme, and we knew that those children had access to broadband and computers at home, so we could give them homework that allowed them to do research work at home using their computers. As soon as we had the children from Weardale, we couldn't do that.
5 years on, nearly all the children at the school have access to the net. As pupils arrive familiar with the technology, the school has found a new digital divide.
It's very much between now, I think, the ones who are actually going to use the medium to further benefit their own careers, their own academic careers, and those who don't. It's becoming a sort of will not divide.
With experts predicting the £50 laptop is not far off and could become as ubiquitous as the transistor radio, it's not just about the technology.
At the moment we have this notion that you're either online or you're offline, and that in some ways is a false construction. The real power in the future online is probably going to go to those who actually interact with other people online, so people who are producing content, people who are organising content, and at the moment still quite a small proportion of the population does that, and that's a really huge digital divide, because that's what empowers people.
So, even when children look like they're wasting time talking to each other on social networking applications, they're actually building up skills for the future. It's probably adults we should worry about.
David Fuller.